Hello friends, my name is Ryan. I'm going to tell you a story named The Moors Murders, Britain's Most Notorious Killing Spree, which is a very amazing story full of twists. So, let's start. It all started in the cold, grey streets of Manchester in the 1960s, where the air was thick with fog and the city lights flickered like dying stars. People hurried along, wrapped in their coats, never looking twice at the figures who walked among them. Nobody suspected that among these faces, hiding in plain sight, were two of the most terrifying figures Britain had ever known, Myra Hindley and Ian Brady. They weren't just lovers, they were partners in something much darker. The kind of darkness that seeps into your bones, the kind that makes your blood run cold. Ian, a man obsessed with power and control, believed he was above morality. Myra, drawn to him like a moth to a flame, followed his every word, willing to do anything to prove her loyalty. Their twisted game began with a simple plan: find a victim, lure them in, and take their life in the most horrifying ways imaginable. They started with small crimes, shoplifting, breaking into houses, but soon that wasn't enough. Ian wanted more. He craved the ultimate thrill. One evening, Myra drove her car slowly along the streets, her sharp eyes scanning the sidewalks for the perfect target. And then, she saw her. A young girl, no older than 10, walking home alone. She pulled over, smiling, her voice sweet and friendly. "Hey love, do you want a ride home?" The girl hesitated. But Myra was kind, reassuring. "I know your mum. I'll drop you off in no time." That was the last time anyone saw the little girl alive. They took her to the moors, a vast, empty stretch of land where screams would be swallowed by the wind. Ian did things so unspeakable, so horrifying, that even the most hardened officers would later lose sleep over the details. When they were done, they buried her in the damp earth, leaving her to become one with the land. But one wasn't enough. The hunger grew. One by one, more children vanished. Each time, the method was the same. Myra, the friendly face, the bait. Ian, the monster waiting in the shadows. Together, they left a trail of horror across Manchester, and yet, nobody suspected a thing. Parents locked their doors at night, whispering about the missing kids, but no one could have imagined that the monsters they feared were living right among them. Then came the night everything changed. Myra's brother-in-law, David Smith, had always found Ian unsettling. There was something in his eyes, a cruelty that sent shivers down his spine. One evening, Ian invited David over, claiming he wanted to show him something exciting. What David saw would haunt him forever. A boy, barely 16, lay lifeless on the floor, his face frozen in terror. Blood pooled around his head, the air thick with the metallic scent of death. Myra stood by, calm, as if nothing had happened. Ian grinned, his hands stained red. "This is power," he whispered. David felt his stomach churn. He knew, in that moment, he had two choices: join them or escape and tell the police. That night, he made the bravest decision of his life. Shaking with fear, he rushed home, his hands still trembling. He told his wife everything, his words stumbling over themselves in panic. Together, they made the call that would end Britain's worst nightmare. The police arrived at Hindley's house at dawn. Myra opened the door, her face a mask of innocence. But when they stepped inside, the truth could no longer be hidden. Bloodstains on the floor. A notebook filled with sick fantasies. And then, the most damning evidence of all, a recording. A tape, played in court, that chilled the nation to its core. It was the voice of a little girl, crying, begging for her life. Myra's voice, laughing, taunting her. Ian, giving orders, his voice dripping with pleasure. The courtroom fell silent. Some jurors wept. Others turned away, unable to listen. But there was no escaping the truth. Justice came swiftly. Ian Brady and Myra Hindley were sentenced to life in prison, their names forever etched in the darkest pages of history. But the scars remained. The moors, once a quiet, desolate landscape, became a place of nightmares. Parents clutched their children tighter. Doors were locked earlier. And the ghosts of the lost children lingered, their voices whispering in the wind, a chilling reminder of the evil that once walked among them. And so, my friends, that is the tale of Britain's most notorious killing spree. A story of horror, of deception, and of justice served too late. If you like this story and want to hear more chilling tales, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and never trust the friendly face of a stranger. Good night.